I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 foods that are harmful for your kitty. So, cat owners, make sure you pay attention, meow. No matter how much you love onion, this popular vegetable can be very harmful for your cat. All onions, whether cooked or raw, are a big danger to cats, as it takes a very small amount of onions to poison them. Onion toxicosis is consistently noted in animals that ingest more than just 0.5% of their body weight in onions at one time. Onion contains sulfoxides and disulfides, which can damage red blood cells and cause anemia.
24.
A herbaceous perennial plant, rhubarb has delicious juicy stalks that are used in culinary, but its leaves are poisonous. They contain oxalic acids and corrosive acids that can negatively affect the digestive, nervous, and urinary systems of your cat.
23.
Cats appear to be more sensitive to the effects of caffeine than people. While 1 to 2 laps of coffee will not contain enough caffeine to cause poisoning in most pets, the ingestion of moderate amounts of coffee grounds can easily cause death in small cats. When ingested, signs of hyperactivity, vomiting, an elevated heart rate, hypertension, tremors, hypothermia, seizures, and other difficulties can occur.
22.
Cats should not be fed human vitamin supplements, particularly those that contain iron, as it can damage the lining of their digestive system and be toxic to the other organs, including the liver and kidneys.
21.
The odds are quite low that your cat will polish off a piece of chewing gum, but if it does, it's likely to end up in serious trouble. Sugarless gums are actually one of the most dangerous foods for cats and dogs, as they contain a natural sweetener, xylitol, that is deadly to most animals. It causes a rush of insulin, blood sugar levels to plummet, possible coma, and even death.
20.
Cats love to eat canned tuna, and this food is not as dangerous as some of the other things on this list, but large amounts of canned tuna can cause malnutrition, as it lacks proper levels of vitamins and minerals your cat needs. A steady diet of canned tuna can also lead to thiamine deficiency and even mercury poisoning.
19.
Alcohol is bad for humans, so it's not surprising that it's harmful for poor pets too. However, a cat's tolerance to alcohol is much lower, and just a very little amount of alcohol, such as 1 tablespoon, can lead to serious problems for your cat, including diarrhea, depression, problems with coordination, breathing difficulties, etc.
18.
Raw eggs are rich in vitamins, proteins, and nutrients, but they should not be given to cats, as they may expose them to salmonella and other parasites that could lead to an inflamed pancreas known as pancreatitis. Some enzymes in raw eggs might also interfere with the absorption of certain B vitamins.
17.
No matter if candies are sweetened with sugar or artificial sweeteners, they are always dangerous to cats. If they contain sugar, they are bad for their teeth and might cause obesity or even diabetes, while artificially sweetened treats often contain xylitol, which can be deadly to them, like in number 21.
16.
Naturally, kittens drink milk after they're born, but it doesn't mean that milk is okay for them later in life. Milk contains some good stuff, such as proteins, vitamins, and minerals, but it also contains lactose that many cats are intolerant to once they reach adulthood. Feeding your adult cat milk might cause diarrhea and other stomach upsets. If this surprises you, where do you see number 6?
15.
Similarly to onions, shallots, and scallions, garlic can cause damage to your cat's red blood cells and lead to anemia. These foods are typically poisonous when eaten in large quantities, but exposure to concentrated forms of garlic, such as garlic powder, can also be toxic.
14.
Native to Australia, macadamia nuts are rich in numerous essential nutrients, including thiamine, vitamin B6, manganese, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, etc. Despite these healthy essentials, it's recently been discovered that these nuts are toxic to pets. Ingestion may result in macadamia toxicity, marked by weakness and hind limb paralysis with the inability to stand. The symptoms may also include muscle tremors, joint pain, and severe abdominal pain.
13.
Grapes and raisins have often been used as treats for pets, but in fact, it's not a good idea at all. Although it's not clear why, grapes and raisins can cause kidney failure in some cats. Just a small amount of grapes or raisins can make your cat ill.
12.
Salt, while commonly used for cooking in the kitchen, is quite poisonous to our pets. Salt poisoning in cats results in clinical signs of vomiting, diarrhea, lethargy, abdominal fluid accumulation within the body, excessive thirst or urination, potential injury to the kidneys, tremors, seizures, coma, and even death when untreated.
11.
The seeds, leaves, and stems of the apricot tree contain cyanide. This toxin inhibits cytochrome oxidase, an enzyme necessary for cellular oxygen transport, preventing appropriate oxygen uptake by cells. When ingested in toxic amounts, clinical signs of dilated pupils, difficulty breathing, inadequate oxygen levels, bright red gums, shock, and death can be seen.
10.
No cat owner would ever give his or her cat tobacco. But it's also important to make sure your kitty will not get to it without your knowledge. Tobacco contains nicotine, which affects the digestive and nervous systems. Consumption of tobacco can result in rapid heartbeat, collapse, coma, and even death.
9.
Apple flesh is harmless to cats in moderation, but apple seeds are poisonous not just to cats, but every living thing. The seeds contain amygdalin, a form of cyanide which prevents the blood from carrying oxygen throughout the body. Eating just a few apple seeds should not be a big problem, but if your kitty happens to eat too many of them, it might experience breathing problems, seizures, collapse, and even coma.
8.
Unlike many dogs who would have no problem eating chocolate, cats usually won't eat it on their own. But if they do, they might experience serious health problems. Chocolate contains a toxic component called theobromine that is easily metabolized by humans, but cats and dogs process it much more slowly, allowing it to build up to toxic levels in their system. It can cause dehydration, abdominal pains, severe agitation, muscle tremors, seizures, and even death.
7.
Unbaked bread dough can be poisonous to cats. When ingested, the unbaked dough expands in the warm, moist environment of the stomach and can result in a bloated stomach, which can later progress to a gastric dilation volvulus, known as the twisted stomach. Secondly, when the yeast in the unbaked dough is fermented, it results in the production of carbon dioxide and alcohol that gets absorbed into the bloodstream and results in alcohol poisoning quickly.
6.
Although dog food is not toxic to cats, your cat needs a very different set of nutrients than a dog. Cat food should contain plenty of vitamin A, taurine, arachidonic acid, and protein, and dog food has much lower levels of these nutrients. Dogs can survive with lower levels of vitamin A and proteins, but cats cannot.
5.
Fat may be harmless in small quantities, but feeding your cat a bunch of fat trimmed from a steak is not a good idea. It could cause stomach problems, including vomiting, diarrhea, and, when fed to your cat regularly, even pancreatitis.
4.
Avocado is known to be very healthy for humans, and it can be also delicious when prepared correctly, but your cat should avoid this fruit. Avocado contains a toxin called persin. Cats can develop an upset stomach, breathing difficulties, and fluid buildup in the chest after eating an avocado. They can also swallow the big slippery pit that can cause serious problems in their stomach.
3.
Although they aren't toxic in any way, bones are one of the most dangerous foods on the list. The problem with bones, especially cooked ones, is that they might fragment once ingested and cause internal lacerations or bowel obstructions. Bones are also a significant choking hazard for cats.
2.
When fed in small amounts, liver doesn't pose a serious problem to your cat's health, but eating too much liver can cause vitamin A toxicity. This is a serious condition that can affect your cat's bones. Symptoms include deformed bones, bone growths on the elbows and spine, and osteoporosis.
1.
The stems, leaves, peels, fruit, and seeds of citrus plants, such as lemons and oranges, contain varying amounts of citric acid, essential oils that can cause irritation and possibly even central nervous system depression if ingested in significant amounts. Tweet us pictures of your furry little friends at twitter.com/list25. Decent. Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button in the top right corner so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these two videos here, or just head to our website at list25.com.